Next on StampedeTV, we have major news affecting camp teams. Details are coming up.
And hammock mounts are now up after our Stampede report. Connor Donahue will have a follow-up.
Plus, a complete recap on the presidential debate, including the student reaction.
And later, we'll find out what you think about a new policy that affects how much email you receive.
These stories and more are coming up next.
StampedeTV begins now.
The end of camp teams have been announced. Welcome to StampedeTV. I'm Katelyn Johnson.
And I'm Brent Doolittle. After 10 years, last year marked the final camp teams.
Historically, we've operated primarily 2 camp teams, which are teams of students who travel around and serve at various church camps.
From Pennsylvania to Florida, students worked at different Christian camps to spread God's love and the word about Milligan College.
Phyllis Fox, who's been the Director of Church Relations and Youth and Ministry, managed that process here at Milligan, and Phyllis announced that she was ready to leave Milligan and to kind of move on.
Milligan College has also decided to reevaluate its recruitment strategies.
Phyllis leaving is a good catalyst for us is to reevaluate things. That didn't drive the decision to move camp teams, but it kind of put us into a spot to say, okay, let's evaluate all of these things and determine what makes sense to continue to do. Obviously, we've been very proud of the camp teams and their kingdom work. They've done a great job for the college, but also, like I said, as you reevaluate strategies and things that you're doing, it makes sense to look at new strategies.
There is no word yet as to any activities that will replace camp teams. This is Brent Doolittle reporting for StampedeTV.
In a statement, Lee Harrison, Vice President for Marketing and Enrollment Management, said, "This was a very difficult decision because we love camp teams and the kingdom work they do. But the program is expensive to operate. We started camp teams using funding from our Lilly grant, but that grant funding has now ended and we could not absorb the costs in the college budget. We remain committed to serving and connecting with the churches through church relations and admissions visits, Youth and Ministry Student Leadership Conference, overseeing the teen convention at the NACC, and etc." After 14 years of working at Milligan College, Phyllis Fox is stepping down from her position as Director of Church Relations and Youth and Ministry. She believes God is directing her to make a change, and it is time for her to make the move.
I have felt for many months that God was nudging my heart to make a change. I love Milligan, and I love my job here at Milligan, but we are called to follow where God calls us. And so I have felt the need to make this move, to make this change. I really don't know why, but I feel like God has something else in store for me, so I'm trying to be faithful and obedient and follow that call. But it's time to make this move, and it also then allows for my Associate Director of Church Relations, Kit Dotson, to make the move up into my position, and that's great for him, and he's very ready to take on the job. The job I've loved the most, probably in all of my career, has been youth and ministry. The opportunity to work with a great team. Kit Dotson, Curtis Boer, and I have worked together on youth and ministry since we started in 2002. So that relationship, those friendships are very dear to me. And the opportunity to encourage young people to see God's call for their life, to be servant leaders, to be able to have that influence with high school kids has been an incredible opportunity.
Kit Dotson will be taking over her responsibilities. Fox will certainly be missed, but we believe God has wonderful things in store for her.
You can now fill out the FAFSA 3 months earlier. The FAFSA for the 2017-2018 school year is available beginning October 1st. Previously, the form was not available until January. The changes were first announced in September of 2015. The U.S. Department of Education says the changes were made to make the process easier for students. They say the FAFSA process will now be aligned with the college admission process. You will no longer use estimates of income on the new FAFSA before replacing the data with the tax return. Instead, the FAFSA will now take your last already completed return. This year, you will submit your 2015 tax information.
This week was Spirit Week, with each day holding a different theme. It's a great excuse to dress up in costume. There were a wide variety of themes, including Feline Friday, Tie-Dye Tuesday, and Dress Like You're 150 on Wednesday. Sophomore Kayla Trevino was all decked out for America Monday. She says Spirit Week is a lot of fun.
I've always been like a really big fan of Spirit Week, especially like in high school, like for homecoming and stuff. And I just think it's a lot of fun to, dress up and do whatever you want, as long as it fits with like the day. I love it. So.
There wasn't much participation in Spirit Week this year. Trevino thinks people may simply have not known about it.
Powder Puff teams are meeting Sunday at 7 p.m. in the Sub-7. Sign-ups for this week outside the CAF. At the meeting, the rules, t-shirts, and practice schedules will be discussed. The Powder Puff game is scheduled for homecoming weekend.
The intramural kickball tournament is scheduled for Sunday at noon. The 7-on-7 kickball will be held on the village lawn. You can sign up in the CAF by emailing Ryan Reynolds at roreynolds@my.milligan.edu. Winners will receive a Milligan College Nike t-shirt.
CAB is hosting 2-day trips over fall break that will allow you to enjoy the outdoors. Thursday will be a hike to Linville Falls. After the hike, the group will check out downtown Boone. The Thursday trip will last from 9 until 5. Friday's destination will be downtown Asheville. They'll leave campus at 1 o'clock and return at 9:30. You can sign up for each of the events by emailing Jason Onks.
On our last broadcast, StampedeTV looked into hammock mounts that had not been installed a year after the plane was announced.
The morning after our story aired, those mounts were installed. StampedeTV's Connor Donahue joins us now with more.
Hey Brent, Katelyn. Students are now enjoying the new Hammock Village. I talked with Jason Onks to learn more about the project.
Last fall, the SGA and ResLife funded a hammock village. After a few bumps, the hammock village is now set up and ready to go.
The idea came from actually one of my work study students last year, Joshua Foots. It wasn't really related to a CAB event or particularly CAB idea, but he got the idea, and I mean I totally supported it to build this hammock village. He had seen, and we had seen people put their hammocks up all over different places on campus, and this was not to discourage people from doing that, but rather just have a kind of a common spot where there could be a community of hammocks in a great kind of shaded central location.
The hammock village is easy to use and in a great location.
The village itself is made up of, I believe, 5 poles in a particular configuration that is really simple. They're very strategically placed to have kind of the right stretch on the hammock, and one can just kind of come up and clip to it and not have to pull straps very much.
Jason Onks was proud of the students who put in the time and effort into making this project happen.
I am proud of it. I didn't do anything with it other than just kind of encourage and coach a little bit. And so, yeah, the student leadership, they brought in some other students, actually even a couple of alumni, to really help with the final project as well. And so, yeah, I thought they did a great job.
Jason encourages students to come to him if they have an idea for a new project.
If any student has a particular idea about something they'd like to do on campus, I'd encourage them to come and talk to me at the campus activities office, and I may or may not be able to help, but oftentimes the ideas that the students have are great ideas, and it may not be something that could be implemented immediately, but as we plan for the future, some great idea that they might have might be just right.
This has been Connor Donahue reporting for StampedeTV.
Onks says he thinks the delay in installing the hammocks was simply an issue of finding the time to do it.
Thanks, Connor.
That looks really cool. I think I'm going to do that this afternoon.
There's an opportunity for you to get free tickets to Milligan's upcoming play. The play features 150 years of Milligan history. Free tickets to the play are available when you show your student ID in the bookstore. The performance is scheduled over the homecoming weekend. 150 free tickets are available. You can also purchase them for $5 each. We'll have more details about the upcoming play after the break.
Plus, we'll have a complete recap on the presidential debate.
And later, we'll find out what you think about a new policy that's reducing the amount of email you receive. Stay tuned.
Can't find something to listen to on the radio? Well, check out 90.5 WUMC Milligan College Radio. With student-produced shows airing each night, there is something for everyone. The best mix of music, along with talk shows about everything Milligan. For a complete list of show times or to listen live, visit us online at milliganradio.com. We're your radio station, 90.5 WUMC.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Heard segment. Today we have Daniel Banks here to talk about a special play Milligan has to offer. Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on. So tell me a little bit about this play.
So this play is called Forward with Faith, the Milligan College story. It is an original play written by Rosemary Shields, who is a former professor from Milligan, retired, and she has written this for the 150th celebration. It's a play about Milligan history.
Okay, what would you say the main focus or target of this play is?
Well, it's really a show intended both for alumni, but also for current students, as well as anyone in the community who's interested in Milligan history. It's taking us on a journey through the different generations of Milligan, focusing really on the presidents and their wives and the different impact that different presidents have had on Milligan's history.
So would you say the inspiration is through the homecoming and 150th celebration?
Yeah, absolutely. Rosemary has been working on this play, writing it for the last 2 years or so, and it's a passion project of hers, so she proposed to the fine arts staff that we use this as the 150th play, or 150th celebration play, I should say. And so they approved it, and it's really a show about celebrating Milligan.
Well, that's great. So how many are involved?
It is a cast of 24 plus our technical crew, which brings us to around 30-some people. It's a lot of people involved in this one.
Are you taking part in the play?
I am the assistant director, so my job is mostly to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, to work with actors during rehearsals, and to try and shape things up to the best of my ability.
So you're the man in charge?
I'd like to think so.
So when is this play?
It is going to be on Friday, October the 20th, and Saturday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. Or 7:30. Ooh, 7:30.
7:30, okay.
And then on Sunday the 23rd at 2:30.
And where is it?
It'll be in the Gregory Center.
Is this open to just Milligan students or the whole community?
The whole community.
The more the better.
Absolutely.
So how much are tickets?
Tickets are going to be $5, and they can be purchased in the Milligan bookstore.
Are they already on sale?
They go on sale on Friday, September 30th.
Is there a limited number of tickets?
We have about 300 seats in Gregory, so it's 300 per night.
So plenty of room for everyone.
Absolutely.
So why should people attend this play?
It's really a show that it's about how Milligan got to be the Milligan that we know and love now. So if you like Milligan, come find out why.
All right, really... Forwards with Play sounds like a great play. Coming up next on StampedeTV, we'll have a complete recap on the first presidential debate, and later we'll find out what you think about the new email policy. We'll be right back.
This is the city where danger lurks. Today, a new creature walks among us, terrorizing innocent citizens. They prowl the streets alone and in packs, causing mayhem, destruction, and carnage. Warning, until this threat can be contained, we must all be on the lookout for the dreaded digital deadwalkers. They're not looking out for you.
Dude! Engage!
A public service safety message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep everyone well connected.
Sorry.
With strong, healthy bones.
The first presidential debate was on Monday.
Here's a complete recap on the debate.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump pulled no punches during their first debate. They clashed over everything from trade to birtherism, from debate prep to policy.
I have a feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Trump slammed her on emails.
That was more than a mistake. That was done purposely. Okay, that was not a mistake. That was done purposely.
And they bickered over his tax returns.
He didn't pay any federal income tax. So
that makes
if
me
he's
smart.
paid,
Trump betrayed Clinton as a Washington insider.
Hillary has experience, but it's bad experience.
While Clinton cited her experience to counter Trump's suggestion that she had no endurance.
as soon as he travels to 112 countries and negotiates a peace deal, a ceasefire, or even spends 11 hours testifying in front of a congressional committee, he can talk to me about stamina.
The vice presidential debate is scheduled for October 4th. There are 2 more presidential debates on October 9th and 19th. The debates are aired on all major networks including ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC.
The presidential debate has been the subject of many conversations on campus over the last few days.
I asked what you and our fellow students think in this Man on the Street.
What did I think of the debate? Well, it was kind of funny to watch. They never really answered a lot of the questions. So they would get these questions and they would have like all these roundabout ways of approaching it where they didn't really give a straight answer, and then they'd kind of lay blame on the other candidate, which was kind of funny to watch and at the same time really scary and intimidating because one of those people will probably be running our country.
So I found the debate very interesting. It just reminded me of kind of one of those deals where a brother and sister are kind of arguing, pointing out things about each other and what they're doing wrong and stuff.
I don't think I'm going to vote for either candidate. I'll probably vote third party. But if Donald Trump wasn't the Republican, I would probably vote for him or the other Republican.
Being an international student just has I noticed the weight of the incoming election, but I haven't really been paying attention because I don't have the voice to vote this year, so I haven't really been paying attention to it at all.
It was I didn't really hear that I heard anything extremely new. It was interesting to hear a couple of different times Trump to say I'd never said that, or that's not true, or something like that. That happened a lot, I felt like.
President Barack Obama is nominating the first U.S. ambassador to Cuba in more than 50 years. Tuesday, he named Jeffrey De Laurentiis for the position. De Laurentiis oversaw the reopening of the U.S. Embassy in Cuba and played a key role in reestablishing relations between the two countries. President Obama says there's no better candidate for the job. The last U.S. ambassador to serve in Havana left the position in 1960 at the beginning of Fidel Castro's rule.
SpaceX CEO Elon Musk says he believes the planet Mars will be colonized within the next 50 to 150 years. Musk revealed his colonization plans Tuesday at an international space exploration conference in Mexico. Musk already plans to make an unmanned trip to Mars before 2018 and send the first humans to the planet in 2024. But he warns any chance of colonization depends on reducing the cost of a Mars trip to around $200,000 per person, as well as making rockets reliably reusable.
I think the first journeys to Mars are going to be really very dangerous. The risk of fatality will be high. There's just no way around it. So I would not suggest sending children, or it would be basically, are you prepared to die? Then, if that's okay, then you're a candidate for going.
Musk says any Mars colony will be able to grow crops and contain buildings and have the resources to send spaceships back to Earth.
Matt Reynolds joins us now with sports.
And Matt says there are 3 Milligan athletes recognized this week.
Yes, 2 runners and 1 volleyball player were given AAC honors. I'll have more after the break. Sports is next.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
My name is Carly. I'm 15 years old and I am a heart recipient. I got my first heart transplant when I was 1.5 years old. I got my second heart when I was 13. When I get my driver's license, of course I'm going to say yes to be an organ donor. I've been saved twice, so who says I can't save somebody else?
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
In the past week, there were 3 Milligan athletes that were given AAC honors. Brandon Ellis and Hannah Seagrave were named the Runners of the Week. In women's volleyball, Marissa Langford was named Attacker of the Week. It's the first time Ellis has earned the Runner of the Week award. He finished in the 8K at the Bulldog Stampede, helping the Milligan's cross-country team to finish first. Seagrave has been named Cross-Country Runner of the Week for the 6th time in her career. She also ran at the Bulldog Stampede, finishing first out of 50 runners. She helped the women's cross-country team place second. Langford has earned Attacker of the Week twice this season and 3 times in her career. When playing against Tennessee Wesleyan, Langford had a second season high attack percentage of .579 with 13 kills and 2 errors. Now, onto the scores of the latest games. The men's soccer team lost to Reinhardt University on September 24th, 4-0. They won over Bluefield on September 28th, 2-1. The women's soccer team won against Emory and Henry September 18th, 2-0. They lost on September 21st to Union College 1-0. They also lost to Reinhardt September 24th, 1-0. The team came back to win over Bluefield on the 28th, 5-0. In volleyball, the women won against Allen University 3-0. They also won against Bryan College 3-1, and they lost to Union 3-1. And that's what's going on in sports.
And win or lose, I'm proud of our team either way. Thanks, Matt. After the break on Stampede TV, we'll have the details on a plan that's reducing the amount of emails you receive.
Stay tuned, more Stampede TV is coming up.
I see my friends out there getting waves and talking about them, and I know exactly what they're doing and what they're feeling and everything. It's like, it's hard. I was diagnosed when I was 57. It was a surprise to me when they told me I had MS. It's like, you sure?
Well, the idea is this is a 360-degree virtual reality camera rig. Steve hasn't been able to ride a wave in way too many years, so now I'm going to ride a wave and we get to share it with him. Well, we're going to do something.
Just put that on your head.
Whoa.
Oh, this is unreal. Coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom. Nice. Nice. This is fantastic.
Here, let me set it up and you get into
Set
the
it up.
ride.
Let's do that again.
You're watching Brent Doolittle and Katelyn Johnson, Matt Reynolds with sports, and the rest of the Stampede TV team.
Well, there was better participation in Twerp Week this year than there was last year. A new Sunday event was added this time around. We have the attendance numbers from the week. About 60 or more people attended each of the nightly events. There were 85 at the Sadie Hawkins dance. Although we don't know if any of the relationships were formed during Twerp Week. Campus Activities Director Jason Onk says Twerp Week is how President Greer and his wife Edwina came to know each other.
A new email policy has been implemented this semester. Instead of daily emails, students are receiving 1 email per week from each office.
This decision was made due to complaints from students that they were receiving too many emails. Stampede TV's Kelly Sorensen went to find out what you think about the new policy.
So while I wasn't necessarily informed on the new email policy, I do think it is beneficial just because I get numerous emails from Canvas regarding essays or tests being graded or anything. However, that means that the weekly emails are a little bit longer. So most of the time I do not get to the very end of the email. I just quit reading, which is not a good habit. But yeah, I would say that the new email policy, I do approve of it.
Well, I think the weekly emails are very informative, and they're a lot better than getting daily mail, because like, I don't know, I get mail from my Canvas because I set it up that way every day. It's kind of annoying, so it's not as annoying as a daily one. And believe it or not, I read the whole thing, even though it's crammed in one email, but it's really helpful.
I personally like the old way because I'm really forgetful, and so I like the little reminders, because usually if I see something that's not pertinent to right now, I'll just delete it, and then I kind of forget about it later.
See, with the emails, like, I think it's a really good idea, because I was actually asked about it before, and I said, you know, a lot of us as students get a lot of emails anyways, whether it's from, well, for myself, I get emails from the church I work at, and everything's all cluttered. I mean, I have 5 different emails for all different kinds of reasons, but I get bombarded with emails every day. So the fewer emails we get, the better, and I just think it's a great idea for, yeah.
This new policy should make it easier for students to manage their inboxes.
Yes, in the past it's been difficult to keep track of what's important and what's not. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Stampede TV.
For the latest news information, visit us online at milliganstampede.com.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
Make sure you pick up a copy of our print edition in newsstands around campus.
Thanks for watching. I'm Brent Doolittle.
And I'm Katelyn Johnson. We'll see you again on our next broadcast on October 14th. Have a great rest of the day.